gonna come right out and say it. I fucking love this movie. I love it. This movie. This is amazing. This is wow. Holy wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, this movie rocks. Woo! Of course, I'm talking about the Lego Movie. And if you're gonna, during this review, you're going to hear me throw out two words very frequently. You're going to hear me say brilliant, and you're going to hear me say endearing quite often in this review. Because that's just it. This is one of the most brilliant, endearing, creative, imaginative, hilarious, heartfelt, surreal, wacky, crazy, hyper, awesome movies I have ever seen in my life. And I have thought about this long and hard with no hyperbole whatsoever. This is one of the best movies I have ever seen, and one of the most important films of this generation, of any generation. And we're not even 2 months. 2 months hasn't even passed in the year. And I will go fucking bananas if I see a better film this year than the Lego Movie. This is my favorite movie of the year. I'm calling it right now. This is my favorite movie of the year. I haven't seen Interstellar. I haven't seen the latest Hobbit movie. I haven't seen Gone Girl. I haven't seen any other movie this year. And yet, I would be more than comfortable to bet that the Lego Movie will be on my number one spot for my top 10 films of 2014. That is how much I love this movie. That is how much I love this movie. This is a film that reminds me why I fell in love with film to begin with all those years ago. It's a film that embodies the spirit of why I love cinema in the first place. It's a film that is infinitely rewatchable, endlessly entertaining, and it's so like philosophically and spiritually comforting and emotional that I loved it so much. I loved it. I haven't seen a film this good in almost 3 years. So, holy God. Holy crap. I love this movie. I love this movie. I don't even really feel the need to go on. I'm just going to tell you, if you want to stop right now, I recommend you stop this video right now. You go out and see this movie right now. You go out and do it. Please, for me. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if you don't want to waste $7, $8, $9, $10, $13 on this movie. You need to go out and see this movie, whether it's alone, whether it's with your mom or your dad or your kids or your wife or your husband or anybody that you can find that you know that wants to go see this movie. You need to go with them to go see this movie. You need to get a big bucket of popcorn. You need to get soda, candy, and you need to sit in the front row. Don't pay 3D. Just go see it in a nice regular 2D. And you need to sit there and stare at the screen and just prepare to be in awe of what is to come. I'm dead serious. I am deadly fucking serious. It's that good. And I know you're probably sitting at your computer or wherever you're listening to this thinking, it can't possibly be that good. Yes, it is. It is that good. It's that good. So please, go out and see this movie. I loved it. Loved this movie. Go out and see it right now. But if you want to stick around, or have already seen it and know how fucking amazing it is, and want to hear what I have to say more in detail, welcome. So let's get started. Alright, the plot to this movie involves this completely ordinary, generic Lego worker named Emmett, played by Chris Pratt, who is so enthusiastic and gleeful and endearing in this role. You just instantly like this guy. He is just Like I said, he's ordinary, he's not very special, he's generic. And one day, while at his job at the construction site, he finds this legendary item called the Piece of Resistance. And it's told by this wise old sage named Vesuvius, played by Morgan Freeman, who said that there is a prophecy that one day a master builder will appear that will find the Piece of Resistance and stop Lord Business, voiced by Will Ferrell, who will take over the world with this ancient weapon called the Crackle. And eventually, Emmett, right away, he gets himself into trouble. And from there on, the movie just kicks into high gear, and it goes from one wacky, hilarious situation to another. And I don't even want to talk about the plot because I don't want to ruin all the surprises that go on in this movie. But the one thing I will say that I have noticed a lot of people are talking about is the ending. And the last act of the movie takes a very surprise. I mean, I was loving this movie already as this visual comedy spectacle. But they take it to a whole nother level in the last act, where I'm not going to talk about what happens. I'm going to let you find out for yourself, or if you've already seen it, you know what I'm talking about. I thought what they did to really hammer home the message of this movie, I thought it was brilliant, daring, crazy, and just straight up thematically pure. Because I think the themes that Lego Movie is pushing in this film make why I believe this film is so important for society. Why I think this film is so important for our modern pop culture. Because in this day and age where so many people are the same, they listen to the same music, they like the same clothes, they like the same people, they like the same celebrities. This is a film that's coming out and telling you that do not be ordinary. Whatever makes you unique in your own special way, you should embrace that. You should love who you are. Do not become part of the crowd. Stand out. Be yourself. And so many movies that come out, they are a part of the crowd. And they are just the same old, same old. This is not the same old, same old. This is a film that is promoting individualism and creative thinking and the power of imagination. I did not expect this movie to be so thematically deep. And when I realized what this movie was doing, I actually almost cried. I shit you not. I never in a million fucking years thought I would ever say this. I teared up during a fucking Lego movie. I can't even believe that shit. I still can't believe that shit. Twice. I almost cried twice during this movie. That is insane. That should not happen with a Lego movie. And yet it did. It did. And I loved it. And I fucking love this movie. And it's just so touching and shocking because this movie had no right to be as good as it was. This movie had no right to be like thoughtful or intelligent. What they could have done, these writers could have just said, these writers, directors, and producers could have just looked at this idea and said, fuck it, and just turn it into the biggest whoring cash grab piece of shit ever. But Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who of course did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and 21 Jump Street, I have already proclaimed these guys, they are a unique voice in comedy right now. They take their craft to a whole nother level in this movie, where they know what they're doing. They create joke after joke after joke after joke that works and hits, and it's consistently hilarious. It's like the old Naked Gun movies where jokes just come at you like at breakneck speed, and you will not have time to catch all of them in one sitting. You need to go back and rewatch this movie over and over and over and over again to get all the little jokes, all the little sight gags, all the little things going on in the background, in the foreground, the midground, any other fucking ground in the movie. That is how many jokes there are in this movie. It is packed with content. It is about to fucking burst because there's so many jokes in this movie. But of course, none of that would really work if the script wasn't great. And like I said, this script is wonderful. I said, it's 1,000 times more intelligent and insightful than it has any fucking right to be. And that's a great thing. That shows that these guys care. This is the one difference between something like the Lego Movie and something like the latest like Lego Batman movie that came out direct to DVD. There's passion here. You can tell. Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they love Legos. They loved it when they were a kid. I personally enjoyed it when I was a kid, but I still have them in a closet somewhere, and I haven't played with them in probably over a decade because, I have my gaming consoles. But I now want to go back and play with my Legos because of this movie. Because this movie shows that the power of imagination is a beautiful thing, and the script really is surprisingly touching, and there's really a couple moments between the characters that are endearing, and they do show character depth. And whatever really ridiculous, painful cliches, one of the things I don't I love Rango. That's one of my all-time favorite movies. Not only with animation, ever. One of my all-time favorites. But one of my little problems with that movie is that they pull this cliche near the beginning of the third act that I don't like, and I don't look forward to it in any of those kinds of movies. And it's something that can be easily avoided. I love that they get that out of the way in the Lego Movie, and it's not painful, it's not awkward, it's just how it works, and it flows really well. And if they had that at the end, it would have just been another we gotta go through this again. But they get it out of the way. They have. Here's the thing. I was talking with a friend recently about plot formulas. And I'm going to say, this plot is formulaic. At its very basic core, it is formulaic. It is like the Matrix. It's the Matrix. But, get this. What I said is I do not mind when a formula is done really, really well. It's like Mad Libs, where it's the same paragraph over and over and over again, but if you fill in the lines with the right stuff, it could be really entertaining and really funny. And that's what the Lego Movie is doing. They're filling in the lines with the best stuff that they've got, with the best punches that they could throw, with the best jokes that they came up with after probably hours upon hours upon hours of editing this down and getting the best of the best of the best in there. This is what you come up with. This is true effort. Hollywood needs to learn from this movie. We do not want lazy ass shit anymore. We want this. I really hope this movie, I know this movie will be financially successful. I want this movie to blow other animated movies out of the water. I want this to be higher success than Frozen. And don't get me wrong, I love Frozen. I want this to be a higher success than Frozen. I want this to be a higher success than The Croods, and I think The Croods are great. I want this to be a higher success than fucking Despicable Me 2, which I think was bullshit, but because that's the thing. I want people to know that this is the kind of family entertainment that should be promoted right now, where it doesn't talk down to kids. It gives something. It gives a lot for kids to enjoy, it gives a lot for teenagers to enjoy, it gives a lot for adults to enjoy, and yet it still finds a way to make it all thematically relevant and relatable for all demographics. I honestly believe if I showed this to my grandma, she would enjoy it, just because of the jokes and how funny and heartwarming it can be. That is how amazing this movie is. And as much as I love it on, like I said, thematically, I love it joke-wise, the visuals in this movie are, oh my god, they're incredible. I don't, just thinking about the work that must have gone into this movie, and as I heard it was a combination of CGI and stop motion, and they intentionally made it look herky-jerky just to give it that feeling of stop motion, like the old school stop motion, like what Fantastic Mr. Fox does, what Leica does, the guys that do Coraline and Paranorman, and Aardman, the guys that do Wallace and Gromit and that latest Pirates movie that they did. They are intentionally trying to make the stop motion look kind of herky-jerky, that it gives it this retro feeling to it, and they do a fucking amazing job, and it's charming. It's a lot more charming, because my problem with the Lego Batman movie that came out last year is that it looked so sleek and so modern that it just felt soulless. It just felt like another product. Here, because it's herky-jerky and because all the environments, everything is made out of Legos. The water is those clear Legos. The lasers are Legos. The ocean is Legos. The smoke is Legos. The explosions are Legos. Everything in this movie, almost everything in this movie, is Legos. And the man hours that must have gone into this, it's exhausting to think about. But the effort was well worth it, because it's this charming universe that I would love to see revisited. And the way they explain how all the different Lego brands are separated, I thought was a really clever idea. And, it's just, wow. I'm really, if I were to make a guess of how many Legos were used in the creation of this movie, my guess would be around 15, 16, 17 million. And that might not seem a lot, but if you look at it, it's a lot. And that would be rather accurate for what appeared in this movie. And another thing I love about this movie are the voice cast. And like I said, Chris Pratt, he's so lovable. You like this guy instantly. I've never watched anything with Chris Pratt in it. Now I have to, because I like this guy so much after this movie. He is the epitome of sweet and innocent and endearing and funny. And although he might come off as generic at first, Chris Pratt won me over really, really quickly. And of course, Elizabeth Banks, who's really good, really funny, really delivers some really heart. One of her moments in the last act is where I almost teared up, because she delivered this speech flawlessly. And I thought she was great, playing Wildstyle, who's the love interest of the movie, but also this badass master builder. Of course, Morgan Freeman, who's awesome as Vesuvius, the wise old sage. And he's hilarious. He doesn't even mind making fun of his voice or himself. And I think Morgan Freeman is definitely at that age where he's just fuck it. I don't mind poking fun at myself a little bit or making myself look like the idiot. And I love him for that, because that shows real humbleness and just class for an actor. You also got Will Arnett as Batman, and he's hilarious. Even though he is kind of an asshole, he's still really funny. Of course, you got the lines I only work in black, and sometimes really, really dark gray. I mean, I knew this movie would be good when they introduced that line in the first teaser trailer, because that made me laugh pretty hard. And of course, the part where he's throwing all the batarangs and all the stuff to hit that one button, he's just do it first try. And I work at a place that plays that commercial over and over and over again. And I never got tired of that joke. It made me chuckle every time. And it made me laugh pretty hard in the theater, because I was already immensely enjoying everything that was coming before it. But I don't want to talk about any of the other voice casts in the movie, because that gives away some really surprising, funny cameos in this movie. And some cameos in the movie, you will cheer. You will want to cheer. There was a very audible cheer when a certain brand popped up. And I thought it was hilarious. And that's the thing. I said, this movie is funny. No. This movie is laugh out loud funny the whole way through. My stuff, as much as I said, I laughed so hard during This Is the End. I laughed so hard during Anchorman 2. I laughed so hard during Bad Grandpa. I laughed even harder during the Lego Movie. And this was after only the first 20 minutes I thought this movie would be the death of me because I was like keeled over laughing. Like I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard. And it's just the little things in the background that made me laugh really hard. It's just as much as the foreground jokes. And they're all just delivered so well and so funny. It's just... But I've said enough. If you've stuck it out this far in my review without like wanting to run out your door to go see this movie, this is going to be my call to action. Go see the Lego Movie right now. Right now. Go see it. Right now. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's my favorite movie. Probably going to be my favorite movie of 2014. In case, unfortunately, if I rewatch it and it goes down. But I'm wishing that doesn't happen. But fuck yeah. This movie is amazing. I honestly can't think of enough positive things to say about it. But the last thing I will say about it is that this is one of those movies where you're going to have multiple favorite scenes. You're going to be quoting it. You're going to be laughing at all the little things you caught in the background that your friend or your spouse didn't, or your parents didn't. You're going to be laughing at how ridiculous it is. You're going to be laughing at how surreal it can be. And you're going to laugh because of the levels that this movie goes. And it gives the movie a whole new layer to it. A whole new 1,000 layers to it. And wow, this is just... I knew this would be good, but damn, I had no idea it would be this good. Seriously, no idea. And wow. Just simply wow to everyone involved. Wow. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe, like my video, comment tell me how much you enjoyed this movie, if you had any problems with it, what you loved about it. And as always, have a good one, guys.